Okay, at this point you should have installed Notepad++ and have it running on your system. And once you do so, you should see something that looks like this. So this is Notepad++. It's a text editor, but it does have some additional features. Again, we're going to be using a lot of those features this semester, and one of those is going to be FTP. And this is how we get the files from your computer in Notepad++ up to the server. I'll walk you through setting that up. The first step is you're going to go to NPP-FTP. So you're going to go to Plugins, and then NPP-FTP, and then Show NPP-FTP window. You'll see a new window display on the right-hand side. You're going to click on the Settings button. So click on Settings, and then Profile Settings. So under Settings, and then Profile Settings, so the Settings button, again, it's a little cog-looking wheel you see on my screen under Notepad++. You can see I've got a bunch of profiles in here already, but we're going to create a new profile, and you can call it anything you like. I'll just call it Course Website. So now I have a new profile called Course Website, and I have to fill in a host name, a username, and a password. So for the host name, that is going to be an IP address. It will be 69.195.124.76. So 69.195.124.76. The username is going to be your first initial, so in my case it's B for Brian, and your last name, so in my case Green. You're going to put an @ symbol, and then headbadges.com, which is the server that I'm using for our websites. So it's going to be your first initial, last name, the @ symbol, and then headbadges.com. For your password, this will be your Camden County College student ID. So in my case, it's 0323036. If you don't know your student ID, it should be the same as your login for WebAdvisor. You could also call registration and ask them for your student ID. But that is the number that I put in there for your password. If you can't get it to work, let me know, and I'll set your password to something else. Just let me know what you want me to set it to. So again, it's B Green is the username. In your case, it's your name. So for example, Rebecca Green would be R Green. So put in your own username and password. Once you complete that, you're going to hit this close button, and then we can test it. You click the little connect button here. It looks like two little plugs sticking together. So I'll click on that, then I click Course Website, because that's the profile that I used. It's going to say connecting, and then once it's connected, it'll say connected at the top. And you'll see this little manila folder here, just like any other Windows application. We're going to create a new file, and I'd like you to create that file index.html. There's a reason we have to use index.html, and that is because that is the default page that will load when someone goes to your web page. So we're going to start with index.html to make sure anybody that lands on this page, this is the page that's going to show up if they don't indicate in the URL which page they would like. So I click OK. It'll take a second, and now I've got an index.html, and if I double click on it, it will download it and let me start editing it. So for our first little web page, I'll go through how and why we do this later on as far as the markup goes, but you're going to type something that looks like this into Notepad++. So if you take a look at my screen, you should see basically what we're looking for on the first assignment. So you've got HTML, then head, then title. Give your page a title, and then in the H1 tag, so which is right here, you're going to just type something. It doesn't matter what you put here, but go ahead and type something in there. You can see here now that I've typed something into this document, I've got a little red folder up here. If you click the Save button, that folder will turn blue again, and you can see over here under Progress something popped up real quick which told us that it uploaded the file. Now let's see if the upload worked. So I'm going to go back to my web browser, and I'm going to go to the web page. So you can do the same thing with your accounts. It's thinkinfo.net is the web address, / and then your username. In my case, it's B Green. And there it is, Brian's web page. If you go to your web page, you'll see yours. If you don't want to type everything that I've typed, you can go to my page and click on View Page Source, and it will show you the source. So you can copy and paste it into your page. So you can certainly do that if you like. So going back to the code editor, for the first assignment, I'd also like you to start a linked list. I'll show you how to do this. We're going to do UL, and then LI, and then we'll put assignment 1. You don't have to worry about why I'm doing this, just you can copy what I'm doing here. So basically I'm going to create a file for assignment 1. And to do that, I'm going to right click. I'm going to do create new file. I'm just going to call it a1.html. You can see I've got a new file called a1.html. Just something simple. I'm just going to type hello world. You could do the same thing in yours. I'm going to save it. Now I'm hitting Control S to save, so you can see I'm not clicking up here. I just use Control S. I think it's a little bit easier. So now I've got an index.html and my A1, which is my first assignment. What I want to do is link to that assignment from my index page. So when somebody goes to my index page, it'll say assignment 1, but they'll be able to click on it. To do that, we're going to use the A tag. And it's going to look just like this. And then I'm going to close that tag. You'll learn more about why I'm closing tags later on. So there's my assignment 1 link. And if I open up my web browser, I'm going to refresh the page by hitting F5. So F5 refreshes the page. When I click on assignment 1, it says hello world. So it worked. One extra step though. For some of you, you may like to be a little more organized, which is good. You can create a new directory, and I'll call this Unit 1. So I'll have a Unit 1 directory. And inside that Unit 1 directory, I could create a new file and call it a1.html. So in this way, I could keep all of my Unit 1 files under one directory. So I'll double click on that. I'll call this one hello world again. So we'll say hello world. Now back to my index. So back over here, by the way, notice this tabs my pages for me. I'm going to click over here on index again. I'm going to create another link just by highlighting. I hit Control C to copy. Then I hit Control V to paste. So now I've got 2 lines. So I just copied and pasted for the next link. But this time I'm going to put Unit-1 in front of the link. So what's going to happen when somebody clicks this link, the browser is going to look inside the Unit 1 folder for the a1.html file. Let's make sure that works. So there's my second link. When I click on it, it worked. And notice that now it went inside the Unit 1 folder to get my first assignment for Unit 1. There's one other thing that we might want to do, and you can do this in your assignments as well. We're going to add one more attribute in here. We're going to write target equals and then underscore blank. So target equals underscore blank, that's going to cause a new tab to open in the browser when we click the link. This might be useful since we can load a list of your web pages, and when I click on the link to view that assignment, it goes to a new tab. I still have the original tab, so I could go back and forth. I could load multiple assignments, I could load multiple files, but I could still have the original linked list, or list of links rather, for all of your assignments. And if you really want to get fancy, and we'll talk more about this through the semester, you can do additional lists inside lists. So we could have something like this where we could say Unit 1, so that's my first link item, or a list item. Then I'll do another list inside that. So what I'm doing here is nesting these links. So I've just nested a link. So there's a link, or a list, I'm sorry, nested a list. So I have a list item for Unit 1, and inside that list item I will have a set. I can have a set of links, and I'll show you just as an example. I'll copy this and we'll paste it here, and then I'll copy this one. I'll paste it here, and then we'll take this one. There we go. So now I've got a couple of nested links. Here's my first major link category or list category. Then I've got a little list under that. Then the next major one. Then a little list underneath that one. We'll learn more how to format these later. But if you want to keep your stuff organized, I just wanted to show you how to do this. So now when I refresh the page, notice now I have my Unit 1. This would normally be Unit 2, Unit 3, and so forth. And you can have links nested inside that. Notice it gives you a nice little visual indication that they're nested links. One last thing I want to show you, as you type this or as you create this page, you can copy my code by just going to View Source. So you would go to this address, thinkinfo.net/bgreen. You right click, you can view this page source to look at my source. And one last thing, when you do look at my source, notice how this is nicely formatted. I have HTML, and then inside HTML I've got a head and I have body, and we'll learn more about that in a few minutes. You've got your title tag, so everything's nested, and you can see these nice lines that Notepad++ gives me to show me the nesting. You want to format your pages like that. What I don't want to see in your assignments is something that looks like this. It's definitely a lot harder to follow and read your code when it's all in one big line like this, or even worse, sometimes I'll see people that give me code that looks like this, where it's all just one long line. Again, it's not very easy to read. This is hard to kind of follow this, and I have to reformat it for me to understand it. So definitely, as you go through the semester, try to give me the nice formatting like this, so it looks nice. If you have any questions, let me know. When you're ready, you can move on to the next section. We're going to talk more about the syntax for HTML.